Good day viewers, you are once again welcome to Akimo's online services. Today we are going to look at basic concept in map reading, 3 signs of map skill. Of course, I'm your instructor, Ayo Akabaito. Signs of map skill. In our last class, we discussed map skill. We said a map skill expresses the relationship between a given distance on the map and the actual distance on the ground. And we also examined the different types of map skill: statement skill, representative fraction, and linear skill. Today we are going to look at size of map skill. The size of map skill may be large or small. A map can have a large skill, whereas another map can have a small skill. So we have two types now. We have large scale map and small scale map. These are the two types of skills, map skills we have. So let us look at large scale map. The smaller the denominator of a scale, the larger the scale. And a large scale map usually represents a small area but show much details about the area. Like I said earlier, the larger the denominator, the smaller the scale. The smaller the denominator, the larger the scale. So we said a large scale map represents small area but show detailed information about the area. So examples of large scale map, we have 1:100,000, 1:50,000, 1:20,000, 1:10,000. Of course, we can also have 1:5,000. These are all large scale maps. Then a typical example of a large scale map is a topographical map. Of course, you know what a topographical map is. Something like this. Yes, this is a typical example of a large scale map. Alright, now let us look at small scale map. Small scale map. We said small scale maps represent large areas but give little information. When you take a look at a small scale map, you can only see very few information about the area because it represents a very large area. An example of small scale maps, we have world map. We have map of Nigeria. We have map of Africa. These are all small scale maps. Don't forget, the larger the denominator, the smaller the scale. Example of small scales. We have 1:1 million. 1:10 million. We can have 1:50 million. These are all examples of small scale. Always remember, the smaller the denominator, the larger the scale. The larger the denominator, the smaller the scale. Good. So that is that on types of maps, size of map, scale. Don't forget to do the assignment that follows the notes. Alright. Having done that, our next topic is measurement of distance. Alright, measurement of distance. What is distance? Take for instance, we have a map. Alright, we have a map on the board. On the map you can see settlement A and settlement B. You can also see the major road, you can see the river, and you can see the railway line. From town A to town B, we can measure the distance. We can also measure the length of this road. You can also measure the length of this river. You can also measure the length of this railway line. Distance is the interval between two places on a map. Let's call here town C, and let us call this place town D. We can measure the length of the road from town D to town C. We can also measure the full length of the road, the full length of the river. Assuming we have airports here, and we also have airports here, we can measure the distance it will take you to travel from town A to town B. So at the end of the day, we discover that it is very, very possible to measure distance, and that's what we are going to do now. What is distance? Like I said earlier, distance is the interval between two places on a map. Town A and town B. From here to here is what we call distance. Of course, as you can see on the board, it can be straight, it can also be curved. So we have two types of distance. We have straight distance, and we also have curved distance. So let us see how to measure straight distance. Example of straight distance include air routes, crow flies, straight roads. These are few examples of straight distance. So if you are confronted with a question, measure this distance as the crow flies from town A to town B, it's going to be a straight distance. Measure the distance of the air routes from town A to town B, is going to be a straight distance. So if you are confronted with such question, what do you do? The procedure is very simple. Let's see how it works. We need some space. The procedure is very simple. Number one, locate the places involved in the question. Let's take this off. Yes. The places involved in the question, we have town A and town B. Then the next step, having located the places A and B, Use a long ruler to measure a straight distance between the two places. Good. You use your ruler. You place it on the center of town A and you read it to the center of town B. When you place the ruler from town A and you read it to the center of town B, what you have, let's assume from town A to town B gives us 40 centimeters. Good. From town A to town B we have 40 centimeters. Our map scale is 1:50,000. So having gotten 40 centimeters, you have to relate this to the scale. So the third point is relate the length measured to the map scale. Now, this is what you do. This is what you do. Let's wipe off this part first. Distance on the map. (40 cm). Map scale. 1:50,000. Which is the same thing as saying 1 cm represents half km. I want to believe you can still remember how we got this. We said 1:50,000 is the representative fraction. Now the statement scale of this is 1 cm represents half km, because we said 100,000 cm makes 1 kilometer. If 100,000 cm makes 1 kilometer, therefore 50,000 will be what? Half kilometer. Good. Now, if 1 cm represents half km, therefore 40 cm is equals to 40 times 1/2 km. This cancels this, and what we end up having is 20 kilometers. So, the distance as the crow flies from town A to town B is 20 kilometers. And that is it. Alright. That's how to measure straight distance. Let us go to curve distance. We return our map. We have our road. We have our railway line. We have our river. Of course, this is a bridge. Then we have another bridge here. This is our river. This is our railway line. Then car road. Good. Measurement of curved distance. Examples of curved distance are roads, rivers, footpaths, railway lines. These are examples of curved distance. So how do we measure it? Knowing fully well that our ruler is not flexible. So how can we measure the length of this railway line? To measure a curved distance, you need a piece of white thread. You have it. Good. Now follow me. You place the beginning tip on the feature you want to measure. This, it goes like this. You put it here and you bend it along the curve. Hope you are seeing what I'm doing. Be careful not to increase the length of the thread. You bend it gradually and you take it gently, gently, gently. You measure it till you get to the end. Now when you get to the end, you use your pen or pencil to mark on it the last tip. Good. You mark on it just a dot, something like this, to show you where you stopped. So this is the length of thread we have used to measure the railway line. So what we do is, you bring your ruler, you place the tip on 0, and you read it down to where you marked. We have 45 centimeters. Good. Length of railway line on the map, 45 centimeters. I'm sure you know how we got that. So we use our thread. I recommend white so that you can always mark and you see where you mark. If you use black, you spend the whole day looking for where you marked. But with white, it will be very obvious. After measuring, you relate the length of thread used to your ruler. When you relate the length of thread used to your ruler, you can obtain the full length in centimeters. Then you put it down. Length of railway line on the map is 45 centimeters. Map scale is 1:50,000, or 1 cm represents half km. Full length or ground distance is equals to 45 times 1/2 km. Of course, we are converting it to the ground distance. So you relate this to the map scale. 2 cancel itself 1, 2 goes into 4, 2 times 2 goes into 5, 2 remains 1. So what we end up having is 22.5 kilometers. We have 45 cm on the map. The map scale is 1:50,000, or 1 cm represents half km. We relate it to the scale and we end up having 22.5 kilometers. So the 45 centimeters we measured on the map is actually 22.5 kilometers on the ground. So that is that. When you go through the notes, we have so many examples and activities for you to do. Kindly do your assignments and go through the notes again and again so that wherever you have issues, you can drop your comments. When you are done with the assignment, send it directly to me through my email. I'm going to drop my email here on the board so that you can see it, and I'm also going to drop the email on the notes. When you download the notes and the videos, you watch the videos, do your assignment, read the notes, wherever you have issues, of course you can forward your comments to me at akenzua234@gmail.com. Good. akenzua234@gmail.com. Forward your questions to me and your assignments. I expect to see all the assignment I've given it. This is the third class we are having. The very first class was an assignment, the second class was an assignment, and this very third class, there is an assignment. I want to see this assignment as soon as possible. Of course, you know there will be consequences if you fail to do your assignment. It was nice being here with you. See you some other time, and stay blessed. Thank you.